While we relive Jesus' passion through the stations of the cross, I would like to share with you my mini version of the Scourging at the Pillar. 20 years ago today, I started my first business. I was engaged in steel distribution. My business was so good that I decided to venture into other fields like groceries, internet cafes, hardwares and construction supplies, and contracting for government agencies. I was earning good. I love to be called boss. I was so proud. God is just a Sunday God for me. Those times I don't ever recall that I prayed. I never called on Him. I go to church only to please my wife. God was nowhere in the picture. I was so proud of who and where I am. I thought there will never be an end to this so-called good life. And so He gave me a shove. A shove so hard that I fell and returned my feet back to the ground. I felt as if I was being scourged. When in 2005, my major business, which is construction and steel distribution, collapsed. Why? My biggest wholesaler, who's distributing my products, 2 different provinces to northern Luzon, was nowhere to be found. One morning on a very routine business day, when agents did their regular visits, his huge building was locked. Clothes and together with his family were even gone, and so was the truckloads and truckloads and truckloads of steel that I loaned him. His employees were even waiting outside and had no idea what's going on. A good friend of mine called me and delivered the bad news. Friends, after we hung up, I froze. I couldn't move because I knew what was coming. The series of events after was hell, my friends. Phone rings and doorbells became my nightmare. Collection agencies demand letters. Friends, I ate them for breakfast. Believe me, my friends, I sold everything I have. Trucks, equipments, cars, even my newly built dream house. And it's not even enough. I was literally crushed to the ground. Nothing left but death. Even my dignity and my pride were gone. I was the talk of the town. My so-called friends shy away from me. Friends whom I was there when they needed me. I was so mad. I was furious. I was hateful. I was angry at the Lord. I started to question Him. Why me? God, why me? But God is not done yet, my friends. He is not. My internet cafe was ransacked, and all my computers and other equipments were gone. And to add a nail in the coffin, I cannot collect from people and government agencies from the projects that I did for them. I was forced to close my other businesses, and that added insult to injury. It was hard for me to close the business, thinking that the person who caused me this closed his business and ran away with tons of money. While I, who is fair and just and never cheated on anybody, is closing my business with tons of debt. Now, can you blame me? When at that point, I started to question God and get angry at Him. Friends, I wake up in the middle of the night and just cry until the sun rises. The fear of being jailed haunted me every day. It was a torture. It was an agonizing pain, my friends, killing me inside day by day. And then again, phone rings, doorbells, and so on and on and on. When will this end, Lord? I asked Him. When? I even thought of just blowing my brains out so everything will be over. But then one day, I found myself listening to the song of Basil Valdez, Lift Up Your Hands. And it says, cast your burdens upon me, those who are heavily laden. Come to me, all of you who are tired of carrying heavy loads. For the yoke I will give you is easy, and my burden is light. Come to me, and I will give you rest. That's when I heed on and surrender everything to Him. I pleaded for the Lord to take over my life. Get on the driver's seat and steer my life. Friends, I started to attend different religious organizations, Bible studies, prayer meetings, Sunday worships, and the like, hoping to find comfort and peace. Until one day, my wife asked me to attend the very first Kerygma conference held at the PICC. And I tell you, my friends, there is nothing compared to it. There I found comfort, peace, and my burden became light. I started to face my suppliers, those whom I am indebted with millions and millions of pesos. Pleaded for them to understand my situation and give me a chance to get back and rise up. I wasn't afraid no more. I told myself that if it's jail time for me, so be it. But they understood. They understood. Then I knew that this is the realization of my decision to surrender everything to Him and let Him steer my life. And so every Sunday thereafter, we were a regular attendee at the Valle Verde Feast, driving all the way from Bulacan and back. Friends, in 2006, having just the faith and the belief that God is on my side, though uncertain of what's in store for me, I decided to try it in America. I work here, humbled myself, and became a caregiver. Don't get me wrong, my friends. There's nothing wrong with being one. It's a very decent and rewarding job. Only because I came from a very, very comfortable life. I cried almost every night, my friends. Not that I despise my job, no. In fact, I began to love it later on. But the most painful is that knowing that I never gave that kind of personalized care to my father when he is sick. I saved every penny of my income so I have something to send to my wife and help fulfill the many obligations that I left. I just work and work and work, my friends. And my only ally is the Bible that my wife gave me before I left in 2006. With a short note that says, "Babe, may this holy Bible nourish your hunger for Christ and guide you in searching for life's meaning and purpose. I love you." From then on, I started to see that God is laying out His plans for me and my family. While in America, I sent out applications for my wife who's a pharmacist to different big chains here in the US. And believe me, my friends, 3 of them replied and offered to sponsor us for a green card. In October of 2008, together with my wife and my daughter, we flew to America. A month after my wife started working as an intern pharmacist at Save-On in Palm Springs. And I, as a full-time husband and a father to my daughter. Friends, life in America was not without a challenge. Our first 2 years was just like a glide for us. It was comfortable for us. Moreover, we were able to chip a major chunk of our obligations in the Philippines. Until my wife was given a notice that she's gonna be laid off. It's not even enough. This happened, my friends, just before they were supposed to file for our permanent resident status. And to make matters worse, we just bought our own house in Palm Springs. And that only means one thing. We are going to lose everything and go back to the Philippines if we're not going to find a company who will sponsor us immediately after my wife is officially laid off. The Lord said, "Come to me, and I will give you rest." She got a call from a district manager of Walgreens and offered her to be a staff pharmacist in one of the stores in Palm Springs and offered to sponsor her for a working visa, but not for a green card. And so the district manager said, and I quote, "Just so you can buy time to find someone who can sponsor you for a green card." Isn't that amazing? After a year of tenure at Walgreens, we found a company who sponsored us for our green card. But the store that she was assigned to is in Rialto, more than an hour drive from our place in Palm Springs. Friends, I haven't told you this, but my wife and I were among the few who attended the very first prayer meeting at the Rancho Cucamonga Feast. And we were a regular attendee thereafter, driving from Palm Springs to Rancho Cucamonga whenever there was a feast. The Lord is shaping up His grand plan for us. For when one door closes, another door opens. He left us close the chapter of our lives in Palm Springs and open another one in Rancho Cucamonga, a city just under 10 minutes drive to my wife's work in Rialto. Also a place closer to our hearts and a place perfect for us to be God's servant. Friends, last September we were finally granted our green card. Now I am allowed to work and can help my wife in our everyday living and can further chip down our obligations back home. Most importantly, we will be able to give back to the Lord more than we normally give. Friends, I don't even know where that person who caused all this is at now. But I already forgave him long time ago. And I even thank him. For if not for him, I wouldn't be where I am now. God is a wonderful God. He will never give us a problem that is bigger than His love for us.